Mr. Jovanovich then responded by ignoring the
allegations. By the way, my name is pronounced Jovanovich.
If I've misstated it, I apologize.
Okay, just try to practice.
No, come on.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Richard.
First off, schools are bursting at their seams not because poor people are moving in this town. Schools are bursting at their seams.
I never said anything about people moving to the town.
You wanted to know,
I said 60 apartments.
all right, let's just get to, let me speak. You'd like to speak, let me speak.
But don't insinuate, don't put words in my mouth.
And Laura Slack, if you're still here, you can answer the question probably better than I. Is it low-income housing that's driving the enrollment growth in the city of Rye?
Peter, I don't understand, because I didn't say a word about it.
Well,
what I said was, you built a 60-unit building.
But just what you haven't built.
It would generate children. And
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
That's what I said.
And let me just say this, that
So
whether this is built or not.
I put words in my mouth because I didn't
All right,
say
well
that.
then let me say this. If you all are saying essentially that we don't want apartments in Rye, well, that's what you're opposing.
No.
No?
No.
You don't want
Listen, Peter,
any more apartments in Rye?
that's not what I said. You keep putting words in our mouth. None of us have said that.
That's pretty much the implication.
No, it's not.
Well,
You're just not listening to me.
I am, and I don't.
60 apartments at this location with this traffic situation and this flooding issue is irresponsible to even consider. Right. And it sounds like you were behind it.
Shame on you.
And I don't know what your motivation.
You want to know what my motivation was? I'll say this
discussing
much.
that?
No
I'm
one's
amazed
thought.
at that.
Let me say this. No one's thought of any of those ideas until you just mentioned them.
Really?
And so
That's not true at all.
I cannot concede.
I'm sorry, Mr. Jovanovich, but
All right, let me just say this. I cannot. Let me. Could you gavel, please?
that's not true. We've paid off quite a bit of the bond already as members of Rye-Golf Club, not the city of Rye.
But has that been an intelligent policy, considering you've been losing membership?
Is it
We've
trend-
raised
is
golf
it-
fees and pool fees
But
so
we-
much in order to make this model work that we're killing the club.
Please, that's,
Even before, by the way, you go. Oh, go.
I came before this council when we had an issue previously about whether or not our city manager had asked someone in our staff to lie. And I told you there was a stain on this community because of that, and asked you to get to the bottom of it, and you didn't. Get to the bottom of this. Now it's time to do your job and get to the bottom of what happened here.
I'll tell you this much, because I don't listen to municipal porn, and that's what this is. You point to the audit committee, but the audit, I was on the audit committee. The auditor never said there was any defalcation or peculation or embezzlement or anything like that.
With all due respect to you, Councilman Jovanovich, it doesn't go back to 1999, okay? It goes back at the very earliest to 2010, when we had actual notice of these kinds of problems. Let me finish if you don't mind.
Oh, you finish up. Go ahead.
Okay?
Yeah.
We had actual notice of these problems in 2010, and nothing was done.
What
Of
was the
fact that
problem?
there were- let's
What was
read
the
what
problem?
they say.
Let's read what they said. They
Okay.
talk about peculation, embezzlement, theft,
Well,
thievery.
excuse me.
Here, you dismiss a report publicly stating about a problem that is millions of dollars, and you did nothing about it as far as the city manager was concerned. So again, to the process that Mr. Jovanovich is talking about, and you guys, you ought to bring the flag up of why this was not addressed.
The auditor's report didn't talk about corruption, didn't talk about peculation, didn't talk about embezzlement, asked for RFPs. In 2011, actually, the auditor's report didn't even bring it up again.
You mentioned that the auditors didn't bring this up again in 2011, as if that's a reason to ignore what they told us in 2010.
The 2009-2010 auditors report said that competitive bidding was required on the staffing specifically. That never happened. Instead, we got 3 rate sheets, and we all saw where that got us. The auditors report also said that there were serious deficiencies in cash controls, and that we needed to look at the catering operation because that money could be flying out all over the place.
If we're going to save Rye Golf, then we need to be honest that our problems didn't arrive with Scott Yondrasovich or Scott Pickup.
Is he not responsible for a document he signed?
well, you
and
just-
why is it that you're sitting on top of a report that says the city had many hundreds of thousands of dollars stolen from it, and you're acting as if you're defending the other side? I find that to be pretty curious. Can I finish my statement?
Go for it.
Thank you.
And I think it's a mistake to say, Peter, that, well, stuff like this was going on for a long time, so therefore, if everyone's responsible, then no one's responsible. Let's deal with it, address it, and then we can move on. If we try to cover it up with sand, we're going to be in a worse place than we ever were.
Well, I suggest if we are to... Keep going!
Mr. Jovanovich then responded by ignoring the
By the way,
allegations.
my name is pronounced Jovanovich.
If I've misstated it, I apologize.
Okay, just try to practice.
No, come on.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Richard.